Good morning. Good morning. It's time for a talk. Take talk. So, sitting here talking to God. You guys know how this goes. Sitting here talking to God. And I have often had times in my life where my disappointment in where I was based solely on my comparison of where someone else is. And that's some deep-seated shit that I struggle with. And what I'm thinking to myself is like, so the situation I'm in, I broke up with the person that I was dating. You know, they decided they didn't any longer want to continue the lease at the place that we were at. So they left. Obviously, it makes no sense for one person to have a 3-bedroom house. So, I'm now in transition of getting a 1-bedroom apartment, right? But I'm knowing that she is already settled. She got into an apartment a few days ago, and she's already settled. And I was sitting here and I was struggling. I'm like, you know, this is so fucked up. You know, I'm still trying to figure this out, and I need this, and this, and da-da-da-da, whatever, right? And what God spoke to me was this, is that they had a head start. That's what I heard. It was like, they had a head start. Our roommate, which is somebody else I dated, and I'm working on it. So, our roommate, which is also her best friend, left as well. So, in my mind, they're telling me, God is telling me, they already, you know, they had a head start. She had over $30,000 in her bank account, and the best friend has 2 jobs. And then, you know, and then in comparison, because we love to compare, and in comparison, you have me, who stopped working for 3 months to build a business that I thought was going to help the 3 of us to buy land and create this space for us to be safe and all these things. And so I stopped working with the trust that, you know, that the conversations that we had, that they would handle that part and I would handle my part, were gonna be, you know, something that lasted, that were commitments that they would follow through with, and they weren't. But neither here nor there. And so I haven't worked for 3 months. And then so shortly after our breakup, I had to put my car and take it to the dealership because it was fucking up. And so I didn't have a car for 2 weeks, and I drive Lyft primarily for my income. And so there was 3 months that I didn't work, 2 weeks that I didn't have my car. And then the day I got my car back, that's when shit hit the fan, and they decided that they didn't want to live there at all. They didn't want me there anymore. So I didn't have the same footing that they had, right? And so as I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know, fuck, like, why am I the one that doesn't? And I'm like, you know why? Because you didn't work for 3 months, trusting that these people and you were working towards the same goal, that we were all doing this thing together, that we were building this life. And so I trusted them, and because of that, I got fucked. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, but because of that, I didn't have the same footing. You know, and so I'm telling myself, like, despite the fact that you didn't have the same footing, I've made over $4,000 this month that I've had here by myself. Neither here nor there, it's possible, is the point. And that even though I've still done everything I could with what I have at my disposal, because all I have is all I need. That's a word. Because all I have is all I need. Because all I have is all I need. We'll be able to get a place where I'm alone. But excuse me, I don't know why I always burp when I'm doing this thing. So basically, it's like, so I'm talking to God, and God is like, you didn't even want to live with them. Like, even when we were talking about building this homestead, I was telling these bitches, like, we were all gonna have our own houses. I need my own tiny house because they're messy, and that bothers me. I don't like clutter. I don't like mess. I don't like going to sit down and there's smudge on the fucking toilet. Like, I don't like washing, when people wash dishes and they're not clean. Like, there's so many things that I don't like about living with other people. All I've ever wanted is my own space. And God is giving me, and it's crazy because God is giving me exactly what I'm asking for. I have my business. As for that, I have my business. And now I'm having an opportunity to have my own space, to have a place that's just for me. And it's just crazy because God will always give you what you ask for, but it never comes the way you wanted it to. I think for us, it's like, oh, this is so simple. You could just give me $1 million and I'll buy a place, right? But for God, it's like, there's all these loose ends that have to be tied up. And we don't acknowledge that because we're looking at the smallest point on the picture. We're not looking at it in full frame. So when we're looking at the smallest point of the picture and then you finally see it in full frame, it's a whole nother focus. You understand what I'm saying? So with God is like, I'm going to just go ahead and sever these ties. And then that way, it's something that you don't have to worry about again. And then I'm going to give you an opportunity to create this space that you're looking to have. Right? And that shit's difficult, man. It's tough. It's tough. Fucking, it's just tough. And I know it's crazy because I'm always up here talking about God, and I got the mouth of a sailor. I really do. I'm not going to pretend like I don't. I am who I am, and God created me imperfectly perfect. And you as well. But, we have to live in who we are in this moment. And in this moment, I am trying my best to, no matter what, be consistent and stay the course. Throughout all of this, I have not skipped a beat. And I always say that because, like, the shit is hitting the fan. There is shit splattering everywhere. But, fuck, I'm doing it. I'm pushing through. I'm working as hard as I can. I'm being all that I can be. And in this moment, and each time I push myself, I become that much stronger, that much wiser, that much, better, and it's tough. It's really fucking tough. Like, it's tough to, it's tough. I just never know what it is that I'm supposed to do next. And so I pray for vision. Pray for vision on what to do next. The only thing I know to do is to keep going and work as hard as I possibly can. That's it. And eventually it will pay off. When? I don't know. There was no ETA given when I was called. I was just told that it was coming. And so I believe in that. And I have faith in that. And my faith makes me work hard towards it, despite what it looks like, despite what they say, despite what's coming against me. Nothing shall prosper, and no matter what, even if it did, like, they've prospered. They've completely taken my stability. They've completely, they've stolen my stuff on the way out. Like, they prospered. They got what they wanted. They got what they went to gain, right? But it doesn't have to be a loss for me. It doesn't. Because if I continue to be who I say I am, a person who pushes through with love, grace, and integrity, no matter what, in the end of it, I'll come out on top. I think that was it. Love you guys. Just a messenger.